In the previous video, we did the unboxing of the dashcam. There are quite some number of parts here, but it is easy to install. Most dashcam uses the same concept for installation. For this video, it will be done on a Mazda CX-5, which is a hatchback SUV. So DIY my ride, let's go. Before we start the installation, first step is popping the hood and then removing the battery connection. This step is optional, but I am doing it anyway for safety. I do not want to accidentally deploy the airbags at the pillars. Even though chances of activating them are low, but for me, it is just simple removal of the negative connector, which is easy. Now let's start with the front by removing the weather strip to gain access to the upper side roof. The wires will be routed on the passenger side of the car. Loosen the A-pillar trim, leaving enough space for routing the cables. Next, remove this lower step trim to allow removal of the fuse box shroud. Here is the fuse box where we will tap power from. Refer to the back cover, which we will later use as reference for where to tap the power. This plastic cover for the rain sensor can be removed easily, and wires can route through here. I ended up not needing to remove it as I routed the cables to the side, but I figured it is good to show how to remove this for those who want to know. Grab two cables, one the hardwire kit cable for power, and another, the long rear camera cable. Route them along this top channel and tuck in the cable behind the roof lining. Use the plastic trim tool if you need to. Let's continue with the rear dashcam cable. Tuck it in along the upper roof lining on the passenger side. Pass it along the B pillar. Using the plastic trim tool, run the wire to the back and tugging it into the panel along the way. Remove the weather strip as necessary and run the cable to the routing port where it needs to pass through. Pry the plastic clip holding the rubber funnel carefully. This is where you need to push to unclip this piece. Be mindful not to puncture the rubber or water will leak into the cables. Also careful not to damage the wires. You can route the cable directly or using the fishhook method. Remove the plastic cover that is held on by clips only to continue running the cable to the rear dash cam. Plug the cable to the camera and tuck in the excess cables neatly in this space. And we are done with the rear dash cam. Next is the hardwire cable that goes to the fuse box. Run the cable along a pillar behind this airbag, going down all the way to the fuse box. You will need to remove this 10mm bolt to be able to tuck the cable through. For next section, we connect back the battery if it was unplugged previously. We also need to refer to the back of this fuse panel to find the relevant fuses to tap. We will be using this test light to check for power. Just clip one end to the ground. We need to look for two fuses to be tapped by the hardwire cable. One fuse that will always have power and another that only have power when car is switched on, or more accurately, it's called accessory mode. I am using the power liftgate and rear outlet fuse for my case. Probing power liftgate fuse should yield power, whereas probing the rear outlet fuse would show no light on the probe. Now switch on the car by pressing on the start button twice. Test both again. This time the rear outlet fuse is showing power. Good, we shall tap these. Important reminder not to tap sensitive fuse that power ECU and ECM related system. Switch off the car and start tapping the fuse using the piggyback fuse of the correct type for the car. Unplug the fuse and put it into the slot on the piggyback. Plug the piggyback fuse as shown for the always on and ACC on fuse respectively. Now check the wires again to make sure nothing is screw up. Over here, I made a mistake of plugging in the tap into the wrong fuse. More of this later in the video. Tuck in the rest of the extra cables and the hardwire device behind the carpet. Ground wire connect to this 10mm bolt. Like I mentioned earlier, I ended up routing the cables to the side of the rain sensor panel, so there is no need to remove that cover. The dash cam is working here. However, it does not go into parking mode. Upon further checking, found the wire for 12-volt always on, and ACC has been reversed. It didn't help when they had the color of respective wires in yellow and red respectively. My bad for assuming 12V power is always red. With that, parking mode is working and we can conclude this video. In conclusion, it is actually not that hard to install dashcam as long as you have an idea of the steps. For an amateur like me, it takes around half a day. The toughest would be routing the rear dashcam cable. Anyway, hope this guide has been helpful. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps to motivate me to do more videos as it takes a lot of time to make these videos and edit them. As usual, stay healthy, stay safe. Uncle Tech out.